Good morning, St. Mary's, and welcome to FOM News Channel, where we have tomorrow's equations today. We have some breaking news for you this morning in the math community. A young man by the name of Dr. Charles Lupwitz challenged the mathematical community after reading a translated copy of Fermat's last theorem. After perusing the proof, Dr. Charles Lupwitz claimed to have discovered fundamental flaws in the very foundations of mathematics themselves. However, there are some whispers in the mathematical community that Dr. Lupwitz is a pediatrician, not a mathematician, and that when he picked up the Braille translation, he was simply disoriented by what he believed was newfangled notation. They claim that his theories as to how math should work are based upon his own misinterpretation of some imaginary axioms. And here, we have some email responses to this controversial news story. The first is sent by Carbon Kitty at smcm.edu, who says, "I work close with Mr. Lupwitz, and personally I think Charles is right, and here's proof. For all 3 parallel lines, an element of a cat's face, if..." I don't understand this. Is this Chinese? Maybe it's Korean. Here.
Oh. No, I don't know.
Okay, well, if that, then Dr. Charles Lupwitz is correct in all he says and does. This is a very sweet email, Carbon Kitty, but I have no idea what your proof is trying to say. At best, I'd say your statement is vacuously true, and at worst, I'd have to give the counterexample that Dr. Charles Lupwitz is completely an unqualified whack job. But on a more serious note, maybe this issue between Dr. Lupwitz and the rest of society is just a matter of notation. I mean, what if we only took the time to listen to what he has to say? And we here at FOM News Channel always listen to what our viewers have to say. Which leads me to my next story. Today, a student is sharing her emotionally trying experiences as a math-turned-English major.
Thank you very much for letting us come down and interview you today.
Thank you for letting me tell others my story and warn them about these dangerous pitfalls.
Of course, so tell us a little bit about yourself, a little background for the viewers.
Well, I'm a junior at St. Mary's. I'm an English major, and I'm failing almost all of my classes.
You declared English as your major recently, though. What about before then?
I was a math major.
Math to English, that's to be a really interesting change.
It was terrible. Why do you think I'm failing all my classes?
How do you mean?
The first question my English professor asked us was, what does literature with a capital L mean? You want to know what I wrote? I wrote, for all x is an element of lowercase a, the natural lowercase alphabet, there exists some big X is an element of capital A, the natural capital alphabet, such that little x equals big X, where equality represents identical denotations. Therefore, for the denoted terms representing the word literature, there exists capital L as an element of capital A, the natural capital alphabet, such that the letter combination of literature as an element of the natural lowercase alphabet is equivalent to, for all denotative purposes, literature with a capital L.
Oh my.
And I wrote it in full quantifier notation.
With the for all and there exist notations?
The teacher moved me to his ESOL class. He thought I didn't speak English with all my upside-down A's and backwards E's.
Did you come across any other difficulties in your switch to English, or was that all the summation of them?
Yeah, I came across a few, or they were troublesome. In this case, both. In math, or can mean one, the other, or both, while in English, it only means one or the other. My ESOL class went over that pretty thoroughly. These kids from Budapest, they had much more trouble with it than I did. Apparently, they learn math as a first language. I feel bad for anyone who has to learn English after algebra.
Wow, it sounded like you had a lot of troubles. Why did you switch to English in the first place?
I came across an open sentence. It said, if you can fit the proof of Fermat's last theorem in the margin of a book, and you haven't picked sunflowers just to count the swirls of their seeds, then you shouldn't major in math.
So?
It was vacuously true.
So you switched to English?
I thought I would be safe from the math there, but there is no escape. Please, as a warning to your viewers, don't let them change majors. Don't even let them take math courses. It will ruin their lives.
Thanks so much for your time. Good luck in English.
Welcome back to FOM News Channel. Last week, we asked several St. Mary students for their proofs that apply to real-world scenarios on campus. And in response, several students who wish to remain anonymous wrote up this interesting proof while in vector calculus class. Here's their conjecture. There exists a conversation in an element of PI where for all questions an element of that conversation, where the question is not an element of everything minus math, implies there exists a statement and element of that conversation where the statement is equal to if I didn't make any mistakes. Here's their proof. Assume the conversation is an element of PI, and the question is an element of the conversation, and the question is not an element of everything minus math. We want to show there exists a statement and element of the conversation where the statement is equal to if I didn't make any mistakes. According to the axiom agreed upon by the 3 students here at St. Mary's College, PI is defined as a set of all possible combinations of events in Ivan's class. From this axiom, you can make the further assumption Ivan, who we will call I, is teaching the class. Now, assume by contradiction that all statements and element of the conversation implies the statement is not if I didn't make any mistakes. According to theorem 131-2, I attempts to answer a math problem if and only if there exists a statement and element of the conversation where the statement is equal to if I didn't make any mistakes. So we can conclude I did not answer a math problem if our assumption about S stands. However, according to theorem 131-1, if there's a question and element of the conversation where the question is not equal to everything minus math, then I must answer the math problem. This is a contradiction, since I cannot both answer and not answer any questions in any given conversation. Therefore, there exists a statement and element of the conversation where the statement is equal to if I didn't make any mistakes. This week, in our documentary series, Are Mathematicians Really a Different Species?, one of our site reporters at St. Mary's College has gone to talk to the student body directly, in hopes that even some of them understand what the heck we're talking about.
The set of consecutive prime numbers, are they infinite? What's this symbol mean? For interviewing purposes?
Oh, I got this one.
What are you gonna write? I don't... Is that?
Yeah, it's my name upside down, seriously.
The set of consecutive prime numbers. Okay, it's actually a for all symbol.
I don't think you know what you're talking about.
What do these two symbols mean, and what's the difference between them?
Well, that's a circle with a line through it. And that's a circle with a line through it if you sneeze when you were drawing it.
What's the difference between contradiction and contrapositive?
A P.
The set of consecutive prime... Have you ever used the Euclidean algorithm for the greatest common divisor?
Common divisor? Is this a sex joke?
No, it's... Never mind. Okay, what's your favorite math pickup line?
What's 2 plus 2?
4?
Wanna have sex?
Have you ever been on XKCD?
I don't do drugs.
What do sunflowers and the Fibonacci series have in common?
Well, you know, with this campus, I would say they're both really pretty.
Do you know what the Fibonacci series is?
Not at all.
How would you prove that prime numbers are infinite?
I would ask for help, like from a doctor.
What does it mean for a function to be bijective?
That's like when you like girls and guys, right?
You don't know. I don't know. Taren might know, but I don't know.
Put away the camera. I give up. Mathematicians must be different species.
Moving on to our math lyric of the week. Today we have Year of the Rat by Badly Drawn Boy. Let's take a listen.
1 plus 1 is 1. Together 1 plus 1 is 1. Forever 1 plus 1 is 1.
Seriously, guys? Not funny. And now for our erroneous math calculation of the week. This one was overheard from a chemistry classroom. The teacher explained to her 101, aka Disney Chem students, that 1/5 was equal to 5%. Seriously? Chemists. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of FOM News Channel. Come back next week for more mathematical goodness.